Hey everybody, this is Linda, and I just thought I'd come on today and show you what I've been working on for the last week or so, in between other things. A couple weeks ago, I was watching, or maybe it was last week, I don't remember. I was watching Mars from Michigan. I just sort of stumbled upon her channel, and she was making dangles. And I've thought a lot about trying to make some dangles, but just put off doing it. But she inspired me to go through my beads, which I realized after I got started, I really didn't have enough beads to do much of anything with. I have a lot of beads, but I don't do jewelry. I don't make jewelry, so I only buy beads for like stick pins, stuff like that, charms. So you don't need a lot of beads. So although I had a lot, what I realized after I started trying to find some to make dangles with is that I really didn't have enough of anything to make very long pieces. So anyway, I had taken a necklace apart. It had been a long time ago, and so I used the beads from that necklace, and let me lay it on here and see if you can see it better. You see that? I don't have my autofocus on because it's weird, and so it may, hope you can see it. Anyway, there was just enough gold in those little beads to pick up the gold in the necklace. I mean, is that the way I want to say that? There was enough, there's a little bit of gold in the beads. So by using the gold balls, it picked up the gold in the beads. That's what I meant to say. So anyway, I did that. And then I had some of these little angels. So I made some of those there, and I think those turned out pretty cute. I had a lot of white pearl beads in all different shades. I mean, all different sizes. So I did manage to get a lot of these beads done, and I really love this. I wish I could have made it longer, but there again, I didn't have enough of those clear ones to do any more of that. But it just sparkles, and I just love it. I think it's so pretty. And I really had fun doing these, and I just sat at night and did them while I was watching television. And this was my longest one. It's probably about 18 inches. Because I had so many of these little tiny pearl beads, and then I had quite a few of these little clear ones. So I have no clue if you can see these or not. You might see them better if I laid them down on this blue thing. But anyway, I made those. And then this is the very first one I did. And I only had enough of these little oblong beads to make this little bitty piece. And this was my first one. And I got it all messed up because I used different size beads. I used too many down here. I started out with this many, and then I went to a small, I left one off on the last ones because I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, because I was watching Big Brother. So there, that's why. So anyway, that's my dangles I've been working on. And I guess while I've got this here, I'll tell you about my book I'm doing. So anyway, you know what? I'm going to put my autofocus back on and just see which works better. I think without it works better, because every time I move, I think it has to readjust itself. But anyway, I'm trying a new binding for this one, and I'm not sure if I'm going to like it. I'm kind of on the fence about it, because well, I don't know. Let me tell you about it. I started out, I just had a piece of fabric about this wide. It was this same stuff here. This is fabric placemats that I cut apart for this, to use for this one. So anyway, I had a piece about that long, and what I did was I measured it off into 1 1/4 inch sections, 1/4 of an inch sections. And then I found the center of each of my pages, measured 1/4 of an inch out from each one, drew a line. Then I found the middle of what I used for my spine, I guess, and I sewed the first one in, which was this one. And then I went over on either side of this 1/4 of an inch, and I sewed in this page here and here. And then I did the same thing on this side. Went over 1/4 of an inch and then sewed this in. So what I came up with was a 1/4 of an inch gusset in between each one of my pages. Now, did I need a 1/4 of an inch in between each one? I don't know if I did or not. But here's my thinking behind this. I don't like when you have make your book and it's out like this. I don't like that. I wanted my book, when I finished it, I wanted all of my pages to be the same. And I wanted both sides of the book to be the same. So by leaving I don't have enough hands to do this, but anyway, I think you can get the idea. By leaving that gusset in there, when I'm done, my book should be the same width here as here, or pretty close, I think. So that's my thinking behind this. I don't like the way the spine turned out. It's too floppy. It might be okay once I get the book made, but I don't know for sure. And I don't know if I said, but I'm doing Romeo and Juliet. So, and I'm not using the typical Edwardian colors because I just did a gypsy book and my mind can't do any more thinking about colors right now. I just don't do well with it. It just is hard for me. So I'm going to make this Romeo and Juliet book in my typical vintage style. And later on, I might go back and do another one and use the more appropriate colors for the era, but not this time. So anyway, this is the fabric book this is the base of the book that I think I'm going to use. And it's pretty ragged around the edges, but that won't show when I'm done. Now, the other thing that I've been up to, which I did today, which is why my nails are all look dark and nasty around the edges, and they're stained underneath, because I've had them in tea and coffee all day, doing some fabric and laces and trims, getting them stained and ready for my new book that I'm getting ready to work on. Because most of my stuff is white. I just buy white and then I attempt. I say attempt because most of the time it doesn't come out all that dark. I think I figured out why. I'm probably the only person that didn't know this. But I think I figured it out. So if I'm wrong, please tell me, because if I'm wrong and I don't know it, I'm going to keep doing it. Anyway, most of my stuff when I dye it with coffee or tea, it comes out, most of the color comes out when I rinse it, when I rinse the coffee and the tea out. So I got to thinking about that, and I thought, well, what if I don't rinse it? And maybe that's where I've been going wrong all the time. Maybe you're not supposed to rinse it. And I didn't know that. Anyway, I didn't rinse it this time. So But then I thought, well, I don't want it to smell, I don't want all my projects to smell like coffee and tea. I like coffee and tea, but I don't want my projects to smell like it. So I came up with a solution for that also. So here's what I got. Now I dyed this little fuzzy stuff here, and I'm looking at my monitor, and I'm taking that autofocus off. I don't like that. Anyway, I dyed some of this big roll of stuff here, and it turned out this color. Now before, when I tried to dye this, it was just barely an off-white, because I washed all the stuff out of it, all the coffee or the tea, whichever I might have been using at the time. So this time I didn't. I just let it sit for a while, and then I took it out and I hung it on my little clothesline that's out under my patio. And after it got dry, and this was everything, after I dried it, then I didn't think of this until about my third load that I had on the line, because before that I did something different. I'll tell you what I did. But anyway, I sprayed it with the Febreze, the Downy Unstoppable, I think. I don't know. Anyway, I sprayed it with some of that stuff, Febreze. And it doesn't smell bad at all. This has a teeny tiny little bit of scent of coffee still on it, but it's very, very little. Mostly you just smell the Febreze. So I can live with that. Then I did a little bit of seam binding, and this was white, and it was laying on my desk. So I just threw it in with the other stuff. I had a little piece of this laying there, so I threw it in, and it turned out just a very, very, very soft vanilla color. So I like that. This I love. I really love the way this turned out, and I really hope that you can see it. I don't know if you can or not. I'm going to hold it up and hope you can see around the edges that this was all white, and I had planned to cut the appliques out, but I love the way that it's stained on the sides. It makes it look so vintage, so old. So I'm not going to cut them out. When I use them, I'm going to use them on the fabric like this, because I love the look of it. Love the way it turned out. So anyway, there was that piece. And then I tried a little bit of Battenberg lace, and all of it I'm really thrilled with by not rinsing it. That was my problem all along. I did some cheesecloth, and believe it or not, it smells wonderful. It smells so good. Not one hint of coffee or tea on it. This I put into the coffee, and it just turned it a real soft, kind of an ivory color. Not a lot, not really dark, but I like it. I think it turned out great. I'm really thrilled with all of them, because I've been doing it wrong and I haven't been getting any color out of it. So I'm very, very happy with the way they've turned out. And like I said, all of them pretty much were white. This was white, and look how nice that is. It's I love the color. Maybe you could see it better if I put it on my book. Probably could. I think I kind of, and my lighting is probably not that great either. I don't know enough about lighting. I don't know what to use, so I just go with what I have here. Because going out and buying something, I wouldn't know what to get. I'd get the wrong thing. Wouldn't know what to do with it after I got it home. So there you go. That's just me. I'm old. I don't know. So this was also white, and I love the color it turned out. I put this into the tea. This was tea dyed. I had another one over here that I used coffee on, and I wish I would have used tea, because this one turned out way dark. way, way dark. I mean, I wanted them to be dark, but I didn't really want it to be that dark because it started out white and it really, really got dark when I left the coffee in it. I love this. I love the way this turned out. I used the tea dye. I put it in the tea, and I love the color that it turned out. It's beautiful. Can't wait to use that one. And then these two, I did this in coffee, and I did this in tea. I like the tea much better than the coffee, but it gives me two different colors, so that's okay. And then I just had this little piece that I did, and I have this little piece of Battenberg lace that I threw in, and this didn't get colored right there. I don't know why that is. I guess it was sticking out of the bowl and I didn't notice it. Anyway, so all of these, I just wrung them out and hung them on the line. And when they got dry, I sprayed some Febreze on them and let them hang on the line a little bit longer. And I really soaked them good with the Febreze, and they smell great. Now, I did some more, and I haven't checked to see how they smell, so hold on a second and let me get them. These I put in a drawer with some of these little drawer scent papers, and they smell so good. These are by Tyler, and the name of them are Diva, and they smell wonderful. And I'm going to see, yeah, these are smelling good. I don't know that they smell as good as the Febreze ones because they haven't been in here that long, and they really smell like coffee when I put them in here, coffee and tea. The coffee smells really a lot stronger than the tea. That one smells good. Real good. This was, I think, tea dyed. This one was. Then I just dyed some pieces of muslin, and I put them down in the tea. They turned out good. They smell good. Yeah, I guess they all do. Yeah, they do. They smell good. But these things smell so delicious. Then I dyed this with the tea, and I love the way it turned out because it was white. So, yeah. Yeah, they all smell good. This was a scarf that I had bought. It had these little balls on it, and I got it at the thrift store. So I cut some of it off, and I dyed that. I like the way that turned out. Just some more cheesecloth. Nah, that still smells like coffee. I think I'll take these out and spray them again. That's just, this was white, a little feathery stuff here. And now it's kind of champagne color. It's pretty. What else have I got in here? Oh, this was the end of the scarf, and it had these little balls hanging on the end of it, like this. Let me see. Let me get those off. There they go. There they are. They were kind of on the end, hanging on the end. So you can't see them. Okay, so anyway, that's just a piece of netting. Some more lace. What else is in here? This turned out pretty cool, this piece. I like the way that turned out. Because with each one of these, it's like, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a dark line going across each one. Yeah. Here's another doily I dyed. So yeah, that's what I've been doing for the last few days. Throw all these back in here. I think I'll take them outside and put these back in. And I'll leave them, and then I'll take them out probably and spray them. So anyway, that's it. That's what I've been doing. And so I'm going to start working on my Romeo and Juliet book, and I don't know how long it'll take me to get it done, but I may be back before then, I may not. So, and I just want to say, for any of you that might be in Texas, I am praying for you. I know what it feels like. 2 years ago, my town here in South Carolina flooded, and we were blessed. Luckily for us, we did not flood, but I remember the town and the devastation. So I just want you to know that I'm praying for you. And I have some relatives that live in Texas, one right outside of one of the towns that Katy, Texas, and he's had to evacuate. So keep him in your prayers, please. He's my cousin. And my brother-in-law's, not my brother-in-law, my son-in-law's brother lives in Houston. And right now he's okay, but he said he didn't know for how much longer. So please say a prayer for him too. And yeah, so I just want to thank you all for stopping by and spending a little bit of your time with me. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye for now.